What if I told you that there was a way for you to buy a large Victorian just steps off 24th Street for half the cost? Today, I'm going to show you a 2-unit building. You can either put your parents in the downstairs, you can live in it with friends. We see that a lot, where they're living in the downstairs, you're living in the upstairs. You can also rent out the bottom to completely offset your mortgage, or you could choose to live in the whole building yourself. This is just steps away from 24th Street, so it's a prime location in Noe Valley. I'm gonna show you 24th in a minute. We're back here every Monday at 5 p.m. with more videos like this one. Let's take a look at this building. This is beautiful. You've got 4 stories here. You've got the garage level. I'll show you that in a second. And then there's unit 1, unit 2, and then there's an upper floor on top. I think they did a good job of not completely taking away all of the details and character of this building. So it's still very beautiful. Also, you've got beautiful buildings flanking it on either side, which I like. And if you peek across the street, 350 Jersey sold last year for, I think, $6.7 million. I'm gonna get to the price on this one in a minute, but let me just say, it's a lot less. So let's go inside. Okay, now obviously one of the things that made 350 Jersey so expensive is the level of finishes. And this one leaves a palette for you to add some money to it if you wanted to take it to that level of finishes. But the good thing about investing in real estate in a prime location is that you kind of can't go wrong, because there's so much demand to be so close to really one of the best walkable streets in the whole city. So we're starting here in the living room. You've got beautiful windows, really nice light coming in. This is a double parlor living room, meaning that really the way this was designed is for that to be another living room on that side. Now you notice we have it staged as a bedroom, a 2-bedroom TIC. I'll tell you about that in a second. And this is what you see in a lot of these smaller, 1,300, 1,200, 1,400 square feet, is that this second double parlor really is gonna need to be used as a bedroom. Somebody's not probably gonna wanna take up this whole space to have a massive living space, but you could. There's a lot of flexibility in these kinds of buildings. You do have a closet in here as well. You don't always, but you've got closet. And then they've done a good job maintaining some of the details of the building. You've still got the sliding doors. They're, they could be smoother. You could change that out. I've seen the hardware changed out perfectly where they roll smoothly. So there's some stuff for you to do here. Some other updates that we did that you can do as well if you happen to own one of these older buildings. I think lighting makes a huge difference. I love this light fixture, and we used it in both bedrooms. You'll notice it's really oversized for the room, which I think is a great way to just have a statement light piece. When we took this over, there was laminate in these rooms. We actually made the hardwood match, and they did a really good job. The hardwood, interestingly enough, in the hallway, it actually came, the seller was telling me it came from Mission High School, the old seller. He did, I guess, a bunch of work on Mission High School, and he repurposed some of the materials, which is awesome. Instead of sending them, this is like perfect. And you see these in a lot of the older buildings, this old redwood oak. And it matches up really nicely when you want to add in new floors and just stain it. Here, well, before I go in here, so you notice these lights in the hallway? I love these. I think they're beautiful. A lot of times in these older Victorians, it feels very dark when you walk in because it's this, I call it like a railroad or a shotgun approach where you have this big long hallway. But adding, lights are like jewelry. So adding some nice light fixtures throughout, not only it brightens it up, but it adds like a little jewelry. And so you have a bathroom. I'll tell you, it's a little small, but it's a bathroom, right? Because if you didn't have a bathroom and you only had one, that would suck. But so small or not, you have a shower, you have a second place to relieve yourself, and a second place to shower, which is a huge value. So, you could probably put in a bathroom like this for, I don't know, $20,000, $25,000, whereas the value that a second bath adds as opposed to just one bathroom could be $75,000, $100,000 extra in value that it'll add. It's a big add. If you've ever lived with one bathroom, it is not fun. Stepping in here, we have an open concept kitchen, dining room space. Nice light coming in. A lot of times, right, you have the buildings sandwiched up against each other. I love that they have these setbacks here where you're getting this light. It's very, very bright in here. Before I show you the kitchen, which we massively updated, I want to show you this bedroom. Again, I think a special thing about this unit is you have a tradesman alley here where someone can get back to service the backyard. And so you have these windows on each side. So the whole unit is really, really bright. And then we put in the floors in here as well. Now, when we took over this, it had been used as a rental and there was tile all right here. And it just really broke up the space. And so we extended the hardwood floor throughout, took the tile out. You don't need tile in a kitchen, you guys. I don't know why people think you need tile in a kitchen. There's not that much water happening in a kitchen. So the wood is gonna make everything feel larger and more seamless. We just painted the cabinets, but I'll show you guys, I'll pop in some before and afters, and oh my goodness, it's crazy. The difference that paint and knobs can make, it is a huge, huge transformation. And then you circle back over here and you have laundry, which is huge, very, very in demand for a TIC or a condo to have laundry. And then you have a much larger bathroom over here, right behind the kitchen. I love these penny rounds. I don't know, I see them so much in San Francisco. I'm working on a project for my family in Missouri and I wanted to put penny rounds in and the contractor acted like I was crazy. But I guess we use them so much here, they're so common and they touch my heart. So they are going into Missouri, bringing California into Missouri. So a couple things that make a condo fabulous: 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, in-unit laundry, open floor plan, and then what's extra on top of that? 2 things. One, huge, I'll show you in a minute, but first, an office. We want to have a place to work from home in this day and age. We really, really need that extra space, and ideally it's not in your bedroom. So here you have an office space. I love this color. We've used it a bit. It's called Flora. It's one of my favorites right now. And this process is called color dripping, where you paint the ceiling, the trim, and the walls and the doors all one color. And I really think it gives it an elevated feel to a room. I think it looks a little bit more luxe. I love the look of it. So what really, really sets a condo apart is direct access to a backyard. And that's one of the best parts about being in a lower unit. And not everything is great about being in a lower unit. I'll talk a little bit as we go upstairs of some of the benefits of being upstairs. The obvious one, sound, right? But this is not something you can ever get in an upper unit. I mean, you can have access to it, but you're always gonna be walking downstairs. And I love how private it is back here because you just have all of these trees, flowering trees, fruit trees. This is south facing, so it gets a lot of sun. So it's just a really beautiful backyard. So I mentioned in the beginning that, you know, you could use this as all yourself. There's a lot of different things that you can do here, a lot of flexibility, but San Francisco doesn't allow you to take inventory off the market. So they don't allow you to buy a building like this and with permits turn it into a single family home. But there are ways to maintain the 2-unit structure and still live in the whole thing. They don't tell you that you can't live in the whole thing. They just tell you that you can't take a unit off the market. So our sellers actually had plans to redo it and make it a lot more valuable. I think they have a bid from a contractor for $1.6 million to redo the whole thing and make it where they could use it and still maintain that 2-unit space. So if you're looking for a way to, you know, a big house in Noe, like I said, that one across the street is 6.7. A lot of times you're looking at 5, kind of the floor is 5, and then it's $6-7 million for a really nice big home. So being a little bit more flexible if you have less money to spend, it's probably easier to talk with you about directly, but that's a way that you can do that. And I will break down the prices to you as we get a little further along. So let's go and see the upstairs. The upstairs is totally different. It's got a lot to offer. Actually, when I was going through the photos that Landry took, I texted Landry. Well, I had the team text Landry and said, did you guys doctor this photo? Because there is a view up there that I just thought had to be AI generated. It's crazy. So I'm gonna show you that as well. So that's one of the things that you're gonna get in an upstairs unit, right? So you're going to get less noise. There is a lot of noise penetration between these buildings if they have not, these old buildings, if they've not been altered. Sometimes if you look in the disclosure packages, you'll find that there's been sound mitigation added, but it's pretty rare. So we have a lot of buyers who reach out and they only want to buy top floor units because they're worried about the noise between the units. Okay, so we've made it upstairs. Let me start in the front. So again, you have the double parlor situation here. Now we see all kinds of things with the floor plans in San Francisco. The way the sellers were living here is they actually had this as a closet and a bedroom and then a bathroom next door. We returned it a little bit more to how I think it's gonna be used. I think I would use this as a guest bedroom and this as a front living room. There is another living room here as well. But again, you have the same like nice big moldings up here. You have the same doors that you could close this off if you wanted to. Obviously in the upper floor, not only do you get a little bit better noise mitigation, I guess you're the one who can make the noise, you don't hear as much from downstairs, but you're gonna get better light and you're gonna get some views. These are not the views I was telling you about. I'm gonna show you those still, but really nice views of other houses, hillside views, and then you have a nice full bath here on this level. And this has been nicely updated, some nice tile, nice and bright in here as well. And then you have the in-unit washer and dryer, which is great. This place is about just shy of 2,500 square feet on its 2 levels up here. As we walk back behind us here, we have a spiral, and I'll admit, you guys, spirals are not my favorite, but they have a place. And you know, when you're trying to utilize square footage throughout a place, and it's the only place to put them, and you want to get to that space, they really can, you know, open up your world of having an extra 1,000 square feet to use. So I think they're great here. Now, in the plans that they designed, there's actually a staircase that actually connects through these levels. So, you know, there's a lot that you can do if you work with a good architect, if you wanted to rearrange things. And so in here, you do have another living room. The tax records have it as a 4, and you see that kind of stuff a lot on tax records where there's, you know, all different, sometimes they're wrong, low, sometimes they're high, but the reality is there's a lot of different ways to use space, and we see all kinds of configurations of how people use living rooms as bedrooms or, you know, move things around. But this is a nice open floor plan concept, whereas up here, as opposed to downstairs, you have an extra living space right open to all of this. So a couple of the windows needed fixed, and they're gonna fix them for us before we hit the market. But we have a nicely updated kitchen here. This was actually done, I believe, by the sellers. So nice quartz countertops, some nice drawers. I love this hardware, nice dishwasher. So beautiful, nice and usable. You have access to a deck there where you could put a barbecue right off of the kitchen. And then just like downstairs, you have another option for an office or a little sitting room back here. And since you're up a little higher, again, you get even better light. And you do have your own deck up here, so you don't have that huge walkout backyard, though the backyard is shared. So you can go down and use that yard. And, you know, obviously if you own the whole building, you can do what you want with it. One thing to know about buying a whole building is there's a bit of a difference in the loan products that you would get if you were buying this as 2 TICs versus buying a whole building. I can get into that with you at another time, but it's a slightly lower interest rate if you were buying the entire building. And then probably you may not know what a TIC is. A little bit complicated to explain here, but it's very similar to a condo. It's a way to separate these units as opposed in being able to sell them separately. So we're actually marketing this as someone can buy each TIC or they can buy the whole building. And that TIC enables us to break these up and sell them separately. But it is a little bit of a different loan product. And some other differences too, which I'm happy to chat with you about directly. On a building like this, that's a 2-unit, it's fast-tracked for condo conversion if it meets certain requirements, which this one does. And again, happy to talk to you about that online if that's interesting. Let's head up to these stairs and I'm gonna show you that view that surprised me. How could the palm tree be that high? Because we're on the 4th floor. I'm like, how are you seeing that? But the hill goes up. So I just thought, I was texting the team, texting Landry. I'm like, is this AI? What is this shot? It's such a cool shot. I've never seen anything like it. So now we're up on the 4th floor, and up here you have another bedroom. Now, one of the things when you go into these attics, a lot of times you have kind of a weird closet situation. There's a way around this, and the sellers on their plans, they were actually like popped these out to put dormers up here. And they were told that that would add like 30 days to the process, but otherwise the plans that they have, they're all inside of the footprint except for this one piece. So that's pretty cool because if they're all inside of the footprint, then it's over the counter. They were told this one piece was gonna add another 30 days. Don't quote me on that, that's what they were told. But that's pretty cool to be able, because there's a whole garage space that I'm gonna show you. Now, if you don't wanna put the dormers in, I think this space would make for a great huge walk-in closet right off of this room. You know, this is very creative that they did this on both sides. And then there's some more spaces down there and just make this whole room a massive walk-in closet. But if you don't want to do it, then it's great as is, and you could throw another desk in here. A lot of times there's more than one person that works at home, right? So it's nice and bright up here. You have really nice views. So this could be a great office as well. I love all these skylights in here. It's just so bright. And of course, if this is a sleeping quarters, you know, you can put, they have really good shades that you can put on skylights as well. You can get full blackouts, the whole works. So if I bought this, I would use this entire space as my primary suite, because in my imaginary world, I don't have my kids. So I'd use this as my entire primary suite. And I would use that as my closet, bedroom, and I would use this as a big like office workout space. But obviously you could also throw another bedroom up here as well. And you have a bathroom on this level as well. That's really cute. So nicely done with the subway, marble tiles, walk-in shower or bath. It's nice to have a bathroom, or it's nice to have a bathtub, at least one bathtub in every home, I find. And then more skylights. There's just massive light in this home with kind of the detached parts of it where you have the windows. Up here you have the windows as well along the dining room kitchen area. And then this view is so cool. Okay, let's head back down. So wrapping up, I wanted to give you guys the price, which you probably want to know. This is 2,500 square feet, 3 or 4 bedrooms, depending on how you count them. And it's gonna be priced at $1,850. The lower unit is going to be priced around $1.2 million, or you can buy the whole building around $3 million. Now, it's quite possible that these are going to get bid up a bit and we'll receive multiple offers and it'll go a little bit over. So if you want to know where it landed, just feel free to reach out, and happy to let you know how we did on this. Okay, so the garage in here, and this is something to look out for when you're thinking about how to make money or maximize money, because what's expensive is, and painful in San Francisco, is expanding a footprint. But if you walk in here, you can see this goes the full length of the place, right? So part of their plans were actually lowering this down a bit more, and then you had still this access that could come into this unit here. Let's see, there was gonna be a kitchen, a family room, a dining room, stairs that connected the next level. That was a couple more bedrooms up there. And then you had a garage here. And then you add in some more support here to take out these beams and really lengthen this width. So you have 2 full car parking down here. How we have this now is this is the 1 car parking for the upstairs unit. The lower unit gets this spot here, which is pretty small. It's going to be for a Fiat or a small car. We want buyers to test it. And down the road, if they wanted to spend some money to take this out, you could easily get 2 cars in here side by side. But this is really valuable to have this space where you can expand the property without expanding outside of the footprint. I want to show you what makes this so valuable. This location is extremely coveted. And you can see I'm on a very, very slight incline here, but I've talked about this before. In Noe Valley, you're gonna pay a lot for walkability. And what walkability means to the buyers that I work with in Noe Valley is not steep hills and really close to 24th Street. And so right now we're on Jersey, and I'm literally gonna head down a half a block. I'm gonna take a left onto Noe, and I'm gonna be on 24th. Now, I feel like I've done a lot of videos walking up and down 24th Street, so I'm not gonna walk the whole strip today. I will point you to one of those, but just to tell you a few things about why people wanna live near 24th Street, there's a lot there. There's a ton of restaurants. You've got Novi that we're gonna see right up here on the corner, which is a Greek restaurant. There's Fiorella, which is an Italian restaurant. They have great pizzas, really good pastas, really good drinks. There's Viva La Tarte up there, which is they have the best avocado toast. They are not shy about bacon. I try not to eat a lot of bacon, but their bacon is really, really good. So if you order anything with bacon, I swear, they put the whole pound of bacon on your order. So they've got really good kind of like all day, well, I think they close at 2, but they have all day till 2 breakfast menu that's really, really good. And then what else? There's a few little cute bars, lots of shops. There's an olive oil shop. There's a chocolate shop. There's a bone broth shop. There's several banks. You've got B of A, you've got Wells Fargo, you have Chase, you have a Starbucks right here on the corner. If you go further up the hill this way, there's also a Phil's. And then if you go back in the other direction towards church, there's a Martha's Coffee as well. And then you've got a little bit of everything. There's nails places, there's a bar place, for the exercise type of bar. There's a Taekwondo place. Oh, there's an ice cream shop that's just from bananas. I think it's called Banana or something like that. So it's no additives, just bananas. And then you can add stuff on top of it, because who doesn't want a little sugar in their ice cream? There's a great sushi. Well, let's walk a little bit. I'll just walk you down 1 block. There's a great sushi place, Saru, that's right down here. Billings Gate is across from Saru. That's one of my favorite spots to stop and pick up some fresh fish, because I love to make sushi at home. That's one of my favorite quick dinners to make. And then up here on the left, there's a Whole Foods, which I go to almost every day. So it's a small Whole Foods, but if you're in the neighborhood, it's a great place to just, quickly pick up some quick groceries. They just reopened a bookshop up here, which we almost thought we lost, but it's back. And so a great place to pick up some cards and some books, and let's all keep shopping there so that we can keep a bookstore in the neighborhood. If you want a full walkthrough of 24th Street, you can check out this video right here. Otherwise, thanks for watching. And if you're looking for more content on ways to save money or get into markets, or if you honestly just want to chat and talk about it, feel free to contact me in any of the ways below. I'd be happy to walk through your unique circumstances.